understood what is our environment. Okay. So today we will study some objectives of the environmental studies. Means what we should do. Okay. If we know the problems and what should be our steps. What is our focus? What are the objective that we are studying this subject? We should know about this. Anybody is waiting? I think nobody is here to join us. Okay. So here you can see what are the objective according to UNESCO. What is UNESCO? United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. So it was established in 1971. Okay, sorry. The objective has been given. I mean, year of establishment didn't confirm, but the objectives have been displayed. Okay. So what are the different objectives of the environmental studies? So according to UNESCO, these are the objectives. We will discuss about these objectives one by one. So in that, first one is the make people aware about the environmental problems. In our last classes also, some students have replied that we should be aware because we are unaware about the environmental problems. So that's why we are facing these environmental problems. And our in the current time, our educational curriculum doesn't create the awareness about the problems. So most of the people are unaware. So especially we have discussed about the developing countries. The people are unaware in the developing countries. So the first objective of this subject, of studying this subject, is make the people aware, more aware about the environmental problems. What may be the environmental problems in the future that we may face, and what are the environmental problems that exist in the environment, but we are not aware. Okay, so a lot of people are facing that problem. So it may be like we are not. We have not observed that changes. Okay, that is a problem, but we are not able to think that how serious these problems are, how these problems may create the problem in the future, in the near future, these are affecting us, but we are not aware. So these environmental problems may be affecting our health. Surely these are affecting our health and other aspect of the surrounding. So all the components of the environment have been affected by these problems, but it may be like that we are busy in our schedule or in daily life. Okay, but we are not aware how these problems are affecting our life. Okay, how this means atmosphere has been polluted, but it may be like we are not aware. We know that our air is polluted, but how much it has been polluted, so we are not aware. Means how it is, our health system is getting affected by that, how serious complication we can face. And there are certain problems that we are unaware that we are getting the disease, but we don't know the reason, certain causes. So if the people are aware, they can stay away. I think if the people will be aware why I am facing this problem. So until or unless the people are not going to face the problem, they will not be aware. So it should not be like that. We can make the people aware before the problems comes. Problem exists in our surrounding, so we can observe that the several people are getting affected by that. They may face some health problem or some other issues, but it may be that we are not getting affected by that means at this time, or we have not observed. although we are getting affected by the environment, but we are not concerned about that. Means we are not aware what is happening in the surrounding and how we are going to be affected by that. And directly it is affecting now also in the current time. So people should be aware about the environmental problems, whatever the environmental problems we are facing, or whatever the environmental problems at the global level also. So in the world, how the peoples are facing the different problems. So we should be aware. Whenever we listen about the news on the television or by any source, so we should focus what are the problems they are facing. We should focus on the cause of the problems. We focus on the several fights or several news, big highlights. But what should be our focus? What is the cause behind that? Why this is happening? We should think. The one example of the environmental problem, that is the global warming, that all of you knows about that. Global warming, ozone depletion. These are the two problems. All of you know about that, no? These are the two main global problems. So everybody is going to be affected by that. Even we are getting affected now also. So ozone depletion and global warming. These are the two problems. But there are many more problems. These are the problems that we are focusing on these. So how much we are doing for that, that is another thing. But we are aware that we are facing the problem of global warming and ozone depletion. But how we are contributing to prevent that, that is another thing, another issue. First, we should be aware like environmental problem, that is a global warming, that is ozone depletion. So global warming is caused by, that is the, what is the global warming? Raising the earth's temperature. The temperature of the earth has been raised in the last centuries. So due to that global warming, the sea level has been increased. So it has become the threat to the population that is living near to the coastal areas. So this will come in the next objective also. So there are several problems. The global warming and ozone depletion. These are the just two examples of the problem, but we are facing many more problems. Okay, the another problem is the electronic waste, that we are not aware about that problem. Electronic waste is the another main issue of the current problem. So it should also be focused. Now we do not have any focus on the electronic waste. And hardly we listen about this in the news. We don't listen. We don't get any information. So that is the next objective. What is the next objective? I think first objective is clear to all of you. Next objective is impart basic information and knowledge about the environment and related problems. So this is the next objective. Impart basic information and knowledge about the environment and related problems means we are facing many more problems. The global warming and ozone depletion is not only the, so we should have the information knowledge so that it can be shared with the other people also. So we should have the knowledge. So basic information and knowledge, how you are going to get, because you, if you means now you are studying this subject, so obviously you will have the basic knowledge, information and knowledge about the environment and related problems. Now you know the environment till, okay, because you have understood. I have already teach you what are the components of the environment, and all the components are getting affected by the environmental problem. But we are not aware whatever happening in our surrounding. So we have already discussed about how the environmental problems affect our surrounding and different components, means physical, biological, social, political, even the psychological. Our performance dependent on that, but we do not take it seriously. So impart basic information and knowledge about the environment and related problems. This is the next objective. Because we are facing many more problems, because everybody knows the global warming is the one problem, ozone depletion is the another problem, and pollution is one of the problem, deforestation. So these are the main problems that everybody knows about that. But there are certain many more problems that you can only, because you are studying this subject, now you will come to know what are the other different problems that we are facing. So we should impart means basic knowledge, which our focus should be on the basic information and knowledge. Information means we should all have the information and knowledge about the environment and related problems. So environment, you have now, you know your environment now, means you can think how our environment is sensitive, how it is related to our resources, physical resources, also how our basic environment is dependent on the physical, our overall economy, our social circles, our psychological state of mind is also dependent on that. So we should be able to think. But now we are getting the many more problems. We should also focus on the different problems and related issues. Means environment we know, and related problems. What are the different related problems can be arise due to the, okay, for the environment, means how the our environment get polluted by the problems, the different problems. So this is not about the pollution of air, because our environment consists of different components that we have already discussed. Physical means psychological, political, social. So that is all, that also our environment. So there may be problem in that. Due to those problem, due to the political problem, due to the social problem or cultural problem, there may be the another type of problem. Means there may be the mismanagement problem. Like we have already discussed that we have more than sufficient resources. So why we are facing the problem? Why our countries, especially the developing countries, have the peoples have the large population that is living below poverty line. So that is also one problem, and we have the more than sufficient resources. So due to certain problems, we are unable to manage those resources because we do not have the awareness. And if we know the means within the India, we have so much education. We have education. We have educated people. Means the people are getting degrees, BAs, MAs, but the people are not aware for the environment. Otherwise, in the developing countries, we should not face this all the different problems. So there are many more problems other than the global warming and ozone depletion. So this problem may be due to the lack of information. Now, next objective is to attain skills to help the individual in identifying and solving environmental problem. Now, this is the objective, means we should have skills. We should attain the skills if we do not have. But within the India or within the developing countries, means we are taking education also. We are taking degrees, but how it is going to be utilized to solve the problem, we should think. So we should attain the skills. We have the large population who is educated. We call them educated people, but they are unable to solve the problems of our countries. So there may be the different cause, environmental problems. So as we have already discussed in the last classes, that population, the large population or increased human population is one of the fundamental cause behind all the problems, and we are unable. Developing countries are unable to keep control on the population. So that is a fundamental cause behind all the problem. If we keep control on our population, then the problems may be solved. surely it will be solved, because this is the only difference between developing countries and developed countries. Developed countries knows how to control on their population, and they take care of their all the users, all the population. But we have large population, we don't care about if the peoples are dying. We cannot means take care of them. We are unable to take care of them, the large population. We invest so much on those population, those peoples, but that all goes waste. The peoples are dying due to some problems. So attain a skill to help the users in identifying and solving it. So it means we should train the peoples so that the people should have the skills so that they can identify the problems in the surrounding, and they can address, they can solve the problems. Okay, I have also given you one assignment means regarding this. You should observe the problems in your surrounding. What are the problems that exist in your surrounding? You should identify the problem. You should be able to identify the problems, because now you are studying this subject. You should be able to identify the problems. I think whatever is happening in your surrounding, you should be sensitive for that. This is our education taught us. Means why we are studying this B.Tech degree, this engineering degree. So this should be used to solve the problems of our surrounding. We have the responsibility to solve the problems of our surrounding, to where we belong, from where we have come, where we have born. So we should have the skills to solve those problems. If we cannot attain the skills to solve the problems of our surrounding, of nearby area, then what is the objective of the education also? So whatever engineering you are studying, that is to solve, that should be, that we means we are taking the education to solve the problems of surrounding. With that education should be applied to solve the problem. But when will you solve the problem? First you should be able to identify. So identifying and solving, these are two different skills. Because you are studying the computer science, so you will say that we know how to solve the problem. We know how to write down the algorithm. We know how to solve the arithmetic problems or other type of problems. But the skills, what skills we need to solve the problems of surrounding? What is so one type of example is if the like farmers are facing the problem, they do not have the proper information. Now the app have been developed. Several mobile application have been developed for those farmers population, so that they can use those applications. So that is also done by the computer science students. Okay, so that is one type of solution. So we should look in our surrounding what the problem that the people are facing. So our technology may be helpful for that. It should be it should be utilized to solve the problems. Now on the mobile, so we have so many applications. Still the people are facing, like the farmers, they are not comfortable to use those mobile applications. So we should develop more user friendly application that the people can use very easily. So focus is on the development of the more user friendly applications. So this may be the one type of the skills that you can develop, because our country is based on the agriculture. So if we do the best in the agriculture, that provide the food to the India or the other countries also. So if we are getting the good food, so hardly we will fall sick. So we should know, I mean, whatever engineering we are studying and the different branches, so that should be utilized for solving the problem. But solution you will give them before the solution, you should know about the problem. You should be able to. Somebody has identified the problems of other population. We should look in our surrounding. We should be able to solve the problems. Because India is based on the agriculture based country. So we should take care of those peoples also. And what are the other population, major population? That is the labor population that are more in number. We should take care of them. So they used to work in the urbanization, in making buildings. So so their role is also big because they are working hard. So we should develop something so that the means those work can become easy. Otherwise, the people will leave that work. If the people are getting degrees, you are studying the B.Tech degrees, so you are not going to plow in the fields. So we should develop some kind of things, like we have developed some machines to plow the fields area, and we have developed some different kind of the facilities, so that we can facilitate the agriculture. So we should develop, we should so that the peoples are, if the peoples are facing the problems, it should be solved. But our focus is here, whatever the problem exists. If the more severe problem, what are the different problems that is seriously we are going to getting affected by that. So we should attain the skills to help the individuals. So first we should know what we can do, then we can identify the problems and we can teach the other people in the identification of the problem. We can focus, we can teach the peoples how they will identify the problem in the nearby area. Then we then we should teach them how to solve the problems, and you can solve the problem because you are doing study, because you are studying this subject. Now you can work in your surrounding. But first we should know. See, I have told you to write down the problem, the list of the problem, whatever you are facing in your surrounding. So if you are able to identify the problem, so you will think about the solution of the problem also. If you're not able to identify the problems of the population that is living around you, but you can identify your problem. If this is your problem, this may be the problem of others also. At least you can identify the problems, your problems, personal problem that you are affecting by that. Whatever problem you are feeling in your studies, what is the cause behind that? Whatever problem you are facing with your food, or maybe the other sphere of your life. What are the problems? You just make a list. Whatever problems you are facing, just make a list of the problems. That is the first step in identification of the problem. So this is the first step. You should have the skills to help the individuals. So when we will help the other individuals, first we should identify the problem, then we can help the others. And we should attain the skills. Attain skills means whenever we will identify the problems, when we are efficient to identify the problem, we will solve that problem also. Means to solve the problem, we should have the skills. So skill we will develop. We will search, we will study, we will do more study. You know the ozone depletion, but you know what are the causes behind that ozone depletion? First, you should know what are the chemicals, what are the we are using that is responsible for the ozone depletion. Then only you can keep control, means you can contribute and minimization of those contents. So we should have the skills, we should develop the skills, so that how we will develop, we can do more study, we should know about the problem, then we can develop the solution, we can do the study on the internet. Means nowadays you have the internet and you can solve, you can gain the information, like in the previous objective of the. So we do not have the problem like that. So we can solve the problem, we can develop the skills. So this is the third objective. What is the next objective? Environmental problem means it includes so many different problems. So electronic waste is the problem that is associated with the computer devices, mobile devices, or electronic devices like charger, mobile. So we have now we are producing in the large number. I mean, we used to change our mobile. If new mobiles come, we used to change mobile, TV. Nowadays we have LCD or different types of like LED. So we used to change our device more frequently than the previous one. So we are getting the electronic waste in the large quantity. So that is a big problem of India also, because from the foreign countries we are importing, because people are not aware in our country. So this is also the one new type of problem we should focus, because our population is getting affected by that, getting complicated asthmatic disease in the NCR region. So the problem is also, I mean, the other areas of the India is also facing the problem. So this is not means I'm not talking about only India, especially the developing countries, because the peoples are not aware, and we are importing. Some peoples are importing the clutter like scrap from the other countries. So that electronic waste is very harmful for our environment, but there is no news regarding this in the media. So we should know. I mean, this is our profession, like computers. You are the students of the computer science. So this is the problem that is associated with this field. Electronic waste. This is the main problem. And we should develop the strategy or solution for that. Reducing the size of the devices, this is the one solution. So nowadays you can see that size of the CPU has been reduced. So initially we had the large computers. So this is the one solution the people are trying, the engineers are trying to develop the more feasible solution. But we also have the responsibility that we should not dispose those electronic waste in the open area that causes the serious complications, serious respiratory disease in the individuals, in the population. That is burned, that goes in the form of gases, is spread in the areas, large areas. Then it settle down on the earth also as surface. So it is also going to affect our production, like agriculture. So so electronic waste is one of the problem, and that is related to your field also. So you should focus on that problem. So how we can solve this problem. Disposal of electronic waste is one problem. So we should attain the skills how it can be disposed. The peoples, and generally nowadays unskilled peoples are working in the disposal of the electronic waste. They don't know how to dispose that electronic waste. It should be dumped in the close area. Okay. So what are the solution we can develop? We will discuss in the next classes also. So we should be able to identify electronic waste is one of the problem. Next objective is the inculcate attitude of concern for environment. Means we should develop the attitude of concern for the environment. Like I have told you about the electronic waste, so we should have concern. I mean, we are studying engineering. We have been awarded the degree, but we are not aware what is the problem of electronic waste. The people are not aware, and due to some social political, not social, the political problems, or there may be some another problem, professional problems, the media do not focus on those kind of news. They will only explore the fault of the farmers, The other peoples are responsible for that. They will blame the crackers, the use of the crackers on Diwali. So generally, this type of incidents happen on the occasion of Diwali. The people used to burn the electronic waste, and they blame the use of crackers. Although the crackers are banned on the Diwali, so then why we are facing this problem? That the smog that doesn't go for the 3 or 4 months in the NCR region if you are not burning the crackers. And we know that the crackers produce the pollution. We know that. But that is not only the one cause. So you should think, we should be aware. We can listen the news in the news media. The cracker is responsible for pollution. And the farmers are responsible for the pollution. I mean, that is kind of pollution that is observed on the occasion of Diwali. But this is not the reality. We should be aware. We should develop the attitude of concern. This is the problem of awareness also. People will blame for anybody else. If you are not aware, so you should be aware so that you can discover the truth. Means what is the cause behind this? What is the real cause? The real cause is the electronic waste, the smog. That is the specific kind of smoke is produced by the burning of the electronic waste. And this is one of the problem of the NCR region. People are getting the complicated disease in the NCR, especially in the Delhi. Lot of respiratory disorders, asthmatic problems. So that is very harmful. The air is very polluted due to that. I'm telling you, this happens. Whenever Diwali comes, it happens. We are the people of the India or specific developing countries are importing the clutter or scrap by the name of the scrap. So the electronic waste, because developed countries are aware, those countries are aware, so they want to take out that clutter from their country. So they used to send this clutter out of those countries, but we are not aware. We are taking their clutter in our country on the name of scrap. So that electronic waste doesn't belong to our country. We are taking, we are importing. We should immediately keep control on that. We should check. So inculcate attitude of concern for the environment, because this is our environment. If our environment pollute, if the gases are polluted, if the air is polluted, and we are inhaling that air, so this is going to affect our health. That is a big problem for all of us. If the pollution occur in one area, surely it will affect also the other area. So this is not happening in the NCR region also. This is also happening in other areas of your country. You should read. I'm giving you the assignment. You should read about this. How serious this is the problem. To inculcate the attitude of concern for the environment. It is not that everything you will study this book. I'm not going to teach you about all the problems, because that is not given in the books. Everything has not been given in the books. You should be aware for that, and you should develop the attitude of concern for the environment. Then only you can attain the skills. So take the responsibility. What is next? Inspire people. Next objective is inspire people to participate in program environment safety, protection, and improvement. We should inspire people. If we are concerned, we have developed the skills, we have developed the attitude of concern for the environment, then we can inspire the people to participate in program environment safety, protection, and improvement. So you should inspire the people. The people do not know about the electronic waste, you should make the people aware about that and participate in program And there are a lot of program that is conducted on the environment safety protection and improvement. You can attend those program, you can attend the workshop, you can attend the different programs to gain the more knowledge. So by the participation, you will come to know what are the current problems, because that have not been written in the books. You should also inspire the people to participate in the program related to the environment safety protection improvement. Okay, I will also give you the list. I will also tell you about some of the program that you can attend related to the environment safety protection and improvement. So how it is useful means, if we will have the information, the objective means, just now we have discussed our basic information knowledge. So how we are going to have this? We should attend, we should participate. Then we can gain the knowledge, basic information. Knowledge means knowledge, information. We should have information. Then we will develop the more awareness, like to the electronic waste. Then we will develop the skills. So we should have the basic information and knowledge. So how it will come? So we should participate in the program related to environment safety, protection, improvement, and we should also inspire the other people to participate in the programs. How it is going to be useful? We'll develop the basic awareness or information and knowledge. So on the basis of information and knowledge, we can use that information knowledge to attain the skills in our field, like the problem of electronic waste means how we can minimize that waste, how we can minimize the production of that electronic waste. So that skill you will develop. If you will participate in the program, you will come to know what are the different problems, because these you are not going to study in the books, and media will not also cover that. On the social media, you will not get any information about that also. But you can search on the internet. There are so many problems that is not given on the books, or in the curriculum, but you can search on the internet. Somehow you will be able to get that information. And we can also participate in the programs in the environment safety protection improvement. Generally these types of programs discuss about the problem that we are facing, or that are going to be more serious in the near future. So if we are aware, if we are already if we develop the attitude of concern before the problems comes, so in the future or at this time also, we will be prepared in the identification also and in the solution of the problem. Then we can participate. If we are already aware, and if we are already means we are ready to face those problems, so we can work in the groups. First you correct yourself. First we should be aware as an individual, then we can work in the group, so we can make the people aware. We can spread the awareness in the group of the people. Wherever you are living, you can create the more aware, you can spread the more awareness related to these programs, or you can attend these programs, so you can spread the awareness. If the people are not not interested in attending these programs, so you can spread. If you know that, if you know the information, if you have the knowledge, and if you have the information and you are aware, then you can make the other people aware for these kinds of problems. If the peoples will be aware, they will not if the all the individuals and all the population of the developing countries that will be aware. Why I'm telling you the developing countries? Because the peoples of the developed countries are more aware than us, so they are working, they know the objectives, they are aware about the environmental problems. I'm not teaching you like you should distinguish between developing countries and developed countries. This is not the aim. But why? I'm focusing on that because those people are aware. They have the less population and they're more aware. Even if they are not more educated than us in terms of degrees or education, but they're aware. They have the education that they're going to utilize. You should think that you are taking this engineering degree, how you are going to utilize this degree in the solution of the problem that occur in your surrounding. So we should always design the things. We should always design the computers, the devices, the mobiles that should be environmentally safe. So there is different types of engineering like development, engineering of the computers. So we should develop means nowadays there's so much change in the screen, development of the screen and that produce the radiation. So means how we are going to minimize that issue should not affect the health of the babies. So we should work on that. We can work. So first, so this there may be the problem related to your field also that you're studying. So there are so many. Today I have told you about the problems related to environmental problem that is related to your field, related to the computer and electronic devices. So you can develop. You should inspire the other people also to develop the more solution that should be safe. So environment safety should be always the first concern, but we are not aware. We do not have the attitude of concern. We are not thinking that why the people are importing the clutter from the abroad. We are getting the electronic waste of the other countries by the aeroplane. Okay. So we should develop the awareness, concern. Why we are going to have the more clutter? We have more clutter in our country. So we should not take that. So we should take this step. We should create the more awareness so that the people can be united to fight over these issues. Okay. What is the next? Strive to attain harmony with nature. Strive to attain harmony with nature. And this is the another objective. We should struggle. We should effort. We should make effort to attain the harmony with nature. How it will happen? If we'll minimize the problem, if we'll solve the problem of the environment, then we can attain the harmony with nature. We should think. So we always like to see the forest or flowers in the nature. We want to live in the nature. We all want the fresh air. We all want the good atmosphere. We all want to celebrate our festivals together. We all want to participate in different activities. And we all want the good psychological atmosphere in our surrounding so that we can study in the peaceful atmosphere. But we all know that we get the problem where when we are going to sit for our study, we used to think about a lot of problem that is happening in our surrounding. So how we can attain the harmony with nature is why this is happening. You're not giving your 100% performance. You have the knowledge information means I will say that you have more information but not the knowledge. You should do the effort to gain the knowledge. Now you have more information because you have the mobile internet, because you have the internet. You can access any information, but that is data. That is in the form of data. Even you don't know whatever has been stored in your mobile or computer. You don't read everything. So that is in the form of data because you have not read. But if you have read about that, that is the information that becomes information. So that is also not your knowledge. So when will you say that is the knowledge you have? When you will apply there, when you practice. So knowledge only comes by the practice, by the practical things. If you perform the practical. So this can lead to move to this last objective, attain the harmony with nature. You should develop the solution with your knowledge and wisdom. You should develop the solution that leads to the harmony with nature. We should think we are taking everything from the nature, like plants. We're getting food from nature. We are getting fresh air. So we are getting shelter from nature. We are getting everything from the nature. And what we are returning to nature, we should think how much we are taking from nature. So we should also return to the nature. How many plants we have taken from the forest, we should return those plants to the nature. But what we used to do, we used to do a plantation of one small plant and taking for taking the snaps, and we call them vraksharopan. So what is vraksharopan? That is not the plantation of one plant, and we don't take care of that. Once we have planted that small plant, but we do not take care of that. What it is, I mean, what is happening to that? So we should take care of that. So deforestation we are causing at the, we are doing it the large scale, but we are not doing the vraksharopan on the large scale. So what is the best thing? We should immediately stop the deforestation. That is the best step. If you don't want to do anything, you should not take from the nature. If you don't want to return anything, you should not take it from the nature. So how much you are taking, you should return to the nature. But if you can't do anything, so you should not take anything from the nature. We should not do the deforestation if we cannot develop. So only nature has the capacity to do that. So here we have to do we have to make effort. We have to do some struggle. We should develop some skills. We should develop some. By the knowledge, we can develop that. So the knowledge is when the knowledge will come. So that can only be developed by the practice. Okay, to attain the harmony, then only we can get the harmony with the nature. We can attain the harmony with nature if we are returning the same thing to the nature. How much we are taking from the nature, we should return it to the nature. So this can be only accomplished by those previous objective. So this is the overall summary. Also, we have discussed in the today's class, we have discussed about the all the objective of the that is given by the UNESCO, and we also think these are important. Okay, if anybody has question, they can ask. Do you have any question?
No.
Anything you can ask. So this was all about the objectives of the uh, UNESCO, according to the UNESCO. So today's I only took this. Okay, so I have only discussed about the objective because these are the important. Okay, and you need to work on that. You should develop the attitude of concern for that. At least in your area, you can do this. See, we cannot solve all the problems. There are so many problems in our surrounding. We cannot solve that, all those problems. But you can focus on one or two. I'm not going. I'm not saying to you that you should solve everything in your surrounding. At least you can solve the problem that you are facing. Means that you think that you are facing the problem. So you should be able to solve your problem at least. Then only you can solve the problem of the group of the people. So how you are going to achieve this? You should identify what is the common problem. Common means what is the problem for me and other people. That if you are able to identify the common problem that is shared among the peoples, and you are going to solve, you will work to solve that problem. That will give you the happiness. That will give you the harmony with the nature. Because the common problems are related to our basic need that is developed on our physical resources, that is related to that will provide you the ground for the work. We all need the food, we all need fresh air, that is our common requirement. Obviously, we also need the fresh air. Then we do not want this electronic waste. So these are our common problem. This is not our only the personal problem. Individually, we are going to be getting affected by this, but also we get affected. I mean, the large populations, the because we are all human and all animals, all plants are affected by that. So we should think in that way. Whatever is our basic requirement, so that will affect everybody. So we can attain the harmony if we will minimize the pollution or the problem. So we should always work to minimize the problem. Then so this we can do by the providing the solution, because engineers have the more responsibility. They are designing the device or they are, so your design should be like that. It should be environmentally safe. We should not develop the technology that create the environmental problems. Any technology should be environmentally safe. It should follow up the safety measures, protection. Because protection is the first. Environment safety should be the first. Okay, now lecture is over. If anybody want to ask anything, they can ask. UNESCO objective you will find on the website also. What are the objective of the UNESCO? So for this subject, I'm reading the book like textbook Fundamentals of Environmental Studies by Dr. Sarita, Kumar. So that is a small book. But a UNESCO objective you will easily get on the internet, on the website of UNESCO. If you want to ask, then you can ask. At least should ask one or two questions. Okay, type your attendance in the chat box. Type your name and roll number in the chat box. For your attendance. 1 minute. EVS. CR should type the EVS computer science on the first. Who is the CR of this class? Okay. Who is the CR of this class?
Ravi.
Ravi should type EVS computer science. He should have given the first attendance. EVS computer. That is the name of your class. It will come in the attendance. Anybody want to ask a question? You can ask. Nobody has the question?
मैम
Yes. What's your
उस
name?
बुक का पीडीएफ फॉर्म है आपके पास?
Oh, that is very small book. I have the hard copy of that book, but I have the PDF copies of other books. also that I will give you. YK Singh book PDF you can download from internet. It is available. Environment Science. Author is YK Singh. That is also the book. Okay, I will post you on the Google Classroom.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hard copy I can show it to you in the class when you will visit that. I will also give you one assignment. I have given you one assignment about the list of the problems. I had given you to make the list of the problems. Okay, so that you will have to submit. I will give you the link to submit. Okay. I think all of you have already made the list of the problems. So that now you need to submit. You have to write down the definition of the environment and you have to submit the list of the problems. So these are the two things. Means the first assignment is introduce yourself. Introduce yourself is first assignment. So in that assignment you have to give your introduction. Okay, so that should be based on your background or your name and your background, your hometown and your surrounding and definition of the environment and the list of the problems in your surrounding. So that is your first assignment. So you will write down the introduction in that way. Okay. So I will post you the assignment also in the Google Classroom. If you have any query, then you ask. Everybody has done attendance? Now who is
Yes,
left?
ma'am.
No, still the people are okay. Everybody has done? No. Now who is left? So everybody has given the attendance now.